Hey, it's raining, and a coyote was just out. Let me try to get him. I mean, before he gets me. There's a deer! Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta flip the camera. There's a coyote and a deer. Okay, do you see the deer? He's walking right over there. Oh my gosh. I was just about to see like a face off. I'm doing my meditation right now, so I wasn't planning on videoing yet. Okay, where'd the coyote go? But I'll show you the landscape anyway. I mean, they were staring at each other because I saw the coyote looking out, and then just now I saw the deer. Now I know what the coyote was looking at. It's so pretty. Even if I don't make a video later today and talk, maybe we'll put this up. Maybe I ought not to have my back on where the coyote was. I saw a rattlesnake the other day, a big one, but I didn't put it in our video. All right. So beautiful today. I gotta capture this. Oh my gosh. Everything's different, like every day. I mean, just. Hi, I'm Dr. Cheryl Meier, and I thought today was going to be a light, easy day, but I never know what's going to come up. So, it's work. Today's work. Let's do it. Let's do it. You're worth it. You're worth the work, okay? So everybody else is thinking about, everything else that's going on in the world. I always think outside of the box. Like some people say it's an Aquarius thing or whatever, or where you're born, where the planets are. I just know myself like this. Like there's no box. So I just think way out of it. But, so I'm just like, look, we've got this time still, and there are people that have limiting beliefs and patterns in your life that are blocking love out. Like, all I want is for me and for the whole world to feel love, to experience love, and not just feel it temporarily, but to know it, to know real love. Here, let me take this out. I was just listening to something. But look, I'll show you nature first. I mean, I already saw the deer, so I'll put that at the beginning, I hope. I don't know what I'll do. Look. It's raining today. It was. And the ground is all wet. Maybe I'll put the deer in right here so that I've introduced myself first. We'll see. Look at this. I hope you hear the birds. All right. So I cried on my way up here. Like I wasn't planning on doing that, but whatever. This is my cry look. All right. So here's what it is today. What happens is we have experiences in childhood that form us, or they make their imprint on us, and we repeat those experiences over and over and over again. So it's kind of like, I don't know, there's a proverb that says like, as a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool returns to his folly. But I don't look at it like, I don't look at it, I mean, that's a kind of good one. You'd think the Proverbs might be wise, you know? They've stood the test of 2,000 years or more. That's older than 2,000 years. It is like returning back to vomit, you know? It's like something we keep throwing back up. And why are we returning to it? And why we already know better. We know in our heads, we know in our minds it's better. And what I'm talking about is the ways we block ourselves from love. So the way I say it to my clients is this, you know, a prettier way than returning to your vomit. But I think maybe vomit is the way we ought to go today. Is we go back to where things broke down in our childhood and we try to make it happily ever after. But the problem is we often go find someone or some experience that's just really similar to what we experienced, because it's like a math equation. We're like, wait, why did it break down right here? Why did it break down? And so we try to go back right to that part of the equation so that we can get it right this time, you know? And if we're talking about, like, one thing that came up for me was I was looking this morning. Tolkien lost his father. His father, they were in Africa, and Tolkien's father died when he was 3 years old. And then his mom died when he was about 12. And C.S. Lewis's mother died. Mother died when he was around 10 or 12, if I remember correctly. He was young. So, you know, sometimes things happen in our lives. Some people believe in reincarnation and that we pick our lives and we knew that this was going to happen, or nothing is by accident, or all things can be worked for good and for a loving purpose. And so it just depends on what your belief is, how you frame these things. But nevertheless, you know, if Tolkien, let's say, loved his dad, his father, and his father died when he was 3, and then his mother died when he was 12, then, you know, he could have it ingrained in his mind that the people that I love are going to disappear and die, you know? Or I know from my childhood, it's like my father did not know how to pursue real intimacy, like how to be really present with a woman like my mom, let's just say. I mean, not to get into their stuff, because they got their own lives to live, so we don't need to go, you know. Anyway, this is my experience, though. So my experience, like, maybe this isn't true, but my experience is that I learned about intimacy in this life, if this is the only life I have. I learned about intimacy from him, and that guys, men are not able to actually pursue an intimate relationship and create an intimate relationship and cultivate that. And, you know, I know women, you know, there's women's rights and all this stuff, and women are like, rise, I will take charge and all this. But I also grew up in Dallas, and it was old-fashioned in a lot of ways. And it was like, oh, you need to let the man pursue and let the man lead. And it's like, well, my dad took us to places that were not of highest love, or not of highest intimacy, or not courageous places. So why would I think it's a good idea for a man to come in my life and pursue, or why would I yield to, oh, lead me to a great place, because that's what's going to happen, right? No, you know. But I generalize. This is what happens, and I'm just bringing up my stuff, not to bring up my stuff, but to show you how we generalize. We have these experiences in childhood, and then we generalize that out to all men. And it's like, it's not all men. And for me, It's starting to rain, so I might have to put my rain jacket on. But I'm sitting on my rain jacket, so I don't know what's. Oh, I can still sit on, I think. Anyway, for me, it's like not all men are like that. And I have the advantage, thank the maker, to quote Star Wars, I always quote C-3PO. He's like, thank the maker, thank the creator. It's whatever your religion is or non-religion, you're totally welcome here. Hold on, I'm gonna put my jacket on, I guess. I'll just do it while I'm talking. All right, then you'll get a variety of nature. Oh, okay. I did yoga this morning, so I really tried to go to the edge of that today because I just wanted to. I wanted to feel it in all of my body. Like, this is our life, I always quote Bob Marley. It's like, live if you want to live, right? Like, I'm here to help you become aware of your limiting beliefs and not to always be looking for problems, guys. We're not, and women, I just mean guys in general, but like women and men and whoever's here, we're not always wanting to look for problems. But it's just like, because then you always see your life as a problem and you're doing something wrong. But there's some kind of balance in, all right, we're gonna take some time, set aside some time to become more conscious in this area and to make this a really fun time. It's so fun to cry in the middle of the woods by yourself. No, I do. I try to make everything as fun as I can. And I have a lot of fun. Okay, so let's go back to intimacy. I have two hoods up, that's why. Okay, so if I generalize that all men are going to lead you to really stupid places, and I felt so bad because I was with this group in one time, and I got the impression that I think someone told me in some kind of way, because we were trying to help each other on this trip, that that I came off as like thinking that men are dumb. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not think men are dumb. Like, we're all human beings. We have the same ability to have intellect. It's just that in my experience, my dad did dumb things and I generalized it to men, and I didn't know I was putting that vibe out that all men are dumb. I'm like, really sorry if any of you guys are watching this. Don't take it personally. It's just my experience, and what I'm saying here, let me get that mic over, is that we generalize these things. Like, you think I had to beat myself up now for living all my life up until now, not addressing that in a real way? Like, I didn't know. And so let's go back to how this affects your relationships. Go figure how it affects your relationships. You're going to be in this place where, if you're married, you're going to think your spouse is dumb, and they're not going to lead you to good places, and they don't know how to cultivate intimacy. The thing about religion, okay, is I have always found, not in religion per se, but in Christ, all my answers, he always answers every single one of these problems that I have, that I come up with my clients and with me, is he always has the solution. And I don't mean that in like a glib way. It is like, Christ is not an idiot. Christ was not afraid of intimacy. Christ embodied the fullness of love. But again, if we generalize things from our own childhood, sometimes we block that. And the idea that came to my mind, thank you, thank the maker and intuition and all, wherever these downloads come from for me, is I remember Lucy in The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, in that book. She has this quest to go to this book of spells, and make the duffel pods, the monopods, become visible again. And so she goes to this magic book, and all these wonderful things happen because, she follows her intuition, and she gets tempted to do this one, make me beautiful spell. I think that's the one. She gets to see it come alive in the picture, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm like, anyway, so this other thing is she's doing these enchantments or whatever. Well, she was doing her quest. She did this quest, and she looked in this book, and she made all things visible, and suddenly Aslan appeared, and she's like, Aslan, where did you come from? He's like, I was here all along, and she's like, as if I could do a spell that would make you visible, That's what came to my intuition, is like, because I actually did my dissertation on how our childhood and our experiences of our parents affect our identity of God, our perception of God, our understanding of God, and how, if our parents are distant, or they die, or they disappear, or they abuse us in some kind of way, or they're really critical and we're never good enough, or they're distant, they're like a mile away, we lo and behold, we see a distant God, or one that disappears on us, or one that is an idiot, or that really doesn't know how to find you. Like, my dad didn't know how to find me. He didn't know how to know me and cherish me and find me. And like, just as a girl, as his daughter, he took us out to dinner a lot. So I have that down pat. Like, that works. And to movies, and he played board games and stuff with us. Well, yes, there's one money game, you just manipulate your kids to take all their money from them. But I learned a lot about how money works. But anyway, I'm not saying it's all bad. Like, we had season passes to go see the Texas Rangers, so we saw a lot of baseball games, and that was really fun. It's not all bad. It's just when it comes to, if you want intimate relationships in your life, and you're wondering why you have like a 6 out of 10 with love and intimacy, and you'd like a 10 out of 10, and not that anyone can be perfect, but you have this relationship. Like, if you're in a committed relationship, I always had this perspective. It's like you can encourage each other to be like, hey, we're in this. Do it at the beginning so that the person knows what's coming, and is planned for this, like, I want to really work on whatever our barriers are between us and 10 out of 10 love, 100% love. I really want to keep working on that and take responsibility for my pain and my childhood limiting beliefs that I generalize to all people. That's not personal to you, but I'm seeing you as an idiot that can't find me, that doesn't know how to pursue intimacy. That's not intimacy. Someone said, into me see. You're letting someone see your authentic self. You're letting yourself see that. And so we all have. Now, people don't know this. I've been learning it a lot more directly lately. I think God, the creator or whatever, has been bringing it to my attention, maybe to help bring it to you guys' attention, but so I have it in my life, is we have male energies in us and we have female energies in us. So we have a masculine side and a feminine side. If you go back to, not the Kabbalah, but like the Torah and old Torah studies, like some deep mystic, Jewish mystics will say that Adam and Eve were one. Whatever the story means to you, or the truth, or whatever that is, Adam and Eve were one, and God separated. When it says God made Eve, took a rib out of Adam, it's in Hebrew, it's his side. He took half of Eve out and made Eve out of one side of him, breathed life into her. And so you don't have to believe this. I'm not trying to teach you how to understand your religion, but for our purposes to understand that we have, because that's just a framework for me to see that we have masculine and feminine energies in us, but I am a female in this body. And, anyway, so, and there are males, and my dad was a male. And so if I think men are idiots, then the male part sleeping in me, and the love there that's sleeping, is an idiot that cannot pursue me, that cannot see me, that thinks I'm fantastic and wants, if you have like a more narcissistic parent or whatever, wants you to achieve great things so you'll look great next to them. It's perfect for a trophy wife, Like I ever would want to sign up for that? No. And so it's like sees me for my accomplishments, sees me for, I won't go into all my dad's faults, but, for in other ways, but he did always tell me, he's like the most important thing, he would tell me the story of Solomon, how Solomon got to ask for one thing and Solomon asked for wisdom. I could thank my dad forever for teaching me this. I remember, welcome to my life, intimacy. Here's some intimacy. I remember being in the garage. I remember, he had this nice 2-person Mercedes convertible, and there were 4 kids of us, so there's 6 in the family. That car was awesome, though. Oh my gosh. I think that's the one that was in the garage. I don't care about material things at all. I'm really glad I have a raincoat right now, though, because I usually wouldn't bring one because it's California. We're in the desert. I'm lucky I have one. But I remember being in the garage and him saying, "Remember the story of Solomon. God asked him, 'What do you want? You can have whatever in a dream or something.' And Solomon said, 'I want wisdom. I'm the king. I have to rule all these people. I want wisdom. I want to rule well.' And God said to him in this story that because you asked for that, and you didn't ask for riches or a long life or beauty or whatever, many wives, which he had, but I will give you that, and I will give you gold and all these other things as well, because you asked for the right thing, And so here I am making these videos because I wasn't crippled in that way. I wasn't held back. I was told as a young child, and you take in what you're told because you don't have a filter in some of those years. I was young, I remember we were living in that house. I was under 5th grade, 6th grade. That's 12. I was under 12. But I remember this like it was yesterday. And so, hold on. Oh, look at nature. I'm going to wipe my face. So, I remember that. And so I was always allowed to ask for wisdom. And I just knew it was going to come because God was going to deliver on that. And so I had this faith built into me that I could ask for wisdom and I could be like as wise as Yoda, And maybe if people do have past lives or whatever, I'd signed up just for that conversation with my dad, and all the rest is just stuff I figured I would just work through. I don't want to be disrespectful of anyone's beliefs. I just know that there are some people that believe that, and some people that don't. So I'm going to bring up both perspectives sometimes because it helps you get more wisdom, helps you enter into the matrix of life in a different way. Just knowing that things aren't by accident and that you have more power than you thought you did, that I'm not just like a victim of my dad teaching me by his actions, that men will never really see the real you and the genuine you or appreciate that. But that you ought to be that. I got this message that you ought to be your genuine self. But as long as she's still performing well and, succeeding in life, but not too much. You can't be too smart or it'll intimidate other men. And I'm like, whoa, forget that one. I let that one go. I don't care who I intimidate now because I'm going to be wise and I want to be good and I want to have a loving heart. And you guys can have a loving heart. And that just reminded me of the deer, a heart. Anyway. So let's go back to your life and look at, how you experience your mother and your father and how you can start seeing. Here, let's be quiet for a second and ask this higher part of you or the part of you connected to God or the part where you enter, when you go in the quiet, in the stillness. Let's just go for a second and look at, maybe I'll do this prompt. I'm just like, I am afraid of intimacy because. All right, hopefully you got some impressions. And if not, pause this, like pause and look more, write some down, right? Write in the comments if you want. That's a big one to write in the comments. But no pressure. I'm totally letting you guys into my understanding, just so we can sift through this, shift through this. Like, we don't have to be stuck. We don't have to be limited, okay? So now that I know this, now that it's in my conscious mind, I can let go of that. I can be like, wait a second, that was just my dad. That is not all men. That is just my experience. It doesn't have to continue to experience. I don't have to keep finding some guy and be like, do you see me? Because I'm right here. I hope I didn't scream in your ear if you're listening to headphones. Because I don't have to look for those guys anymore. I don't have to find someone that's like my dad and try to write it happily ever after. I am worth being seen, and I like seeing me, and I love getting to know me. It's really fun, and I love like knowing that there's more in my life that I can have and become and cherish about myself besides just wisdom, you know? But dude, like, if I'm going to have wisdom, let's give it out, give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Is that the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Anyway, that's been the fun side is I wasn't really, I read a book called I Am Asher Love by Kyan Potok. I got to meet him when a long time ago when I won't say how old I was because that was a long time ago. Never mind. I got to meet him before he passed away. And hopefully, anyway. And so it was about this young man whose parents were Orthodox Jews, and they wanted him to be like a rabbi or something, and he wasn't allowed to be an artist, and he was an artist. And so art wasn't, it was like a side thing. It wasn't really, it was really pretty frowned on. You know, you have to succeed and do other things. Like, my dad's a doctor, so here I am as a doctor, but a different kind of doctor, of course. But it's been really fun to pursue my artistic side, and you guys have seen on my YouTube channel probably my guitar side and my singing and trying all this stuff. I'm just like, let's do it all, because why not? I want to learn to surf, I think, too. Like the other night when I got to put my sunset pictures together. I have to make a video for you guys. I was like, I would take on a shark to watch this sunset out in the water with these surfers right now. I mean, I could be without other surfers, but just surfing. Oh, I got it. Maybe I'll put one of the pictures of the sunset here. It's so beautiful that night. So anyway, go back to your limiting beliefs. And we were looking at I'm afraid of intimacy because, and have that an open-ended, and you're not pushing yourself. Don't ever push yourself and go, why are you doing this? You know, try to stay grounded like we are in nature and neutral. And like, you don't have to find the answer, but you're going because you care about yourself. And like I was just saying, I don't know if I finished that thought, is I want to activate this loving, healthy male side in myself, and this loving, sacred, you know, like amazing feminine side, and this amazing male side. And Christ always will show me what that is. I have confidence when I look to him and I feel the presence of Christ in me, and I can read the red letters in the Bible, and I can know that, and other books that I have that are really good about Christ, I can know that he wants me to know love, to love, to know love in the deepest part of my being. And he wants to set the captives free and heal the brokenhearted. He says, I have come to heal the brokenhearted. I am incarnated here to heal the brokenhearted. And so, like, I know that about myself. It's undeniable. I know that because that's what's in my heart. And I love it. And I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to be here for you. And I'm glad to keep, like, peeling the layers back and crying if I need to cry, you know, so that Christ can keep healing my broken heart. Like, who knows why, I'm like, why the hell? Like, sorry, not, it is like hell. So I'm not trying to just, like, some people have kids around. Okay, tell them that they're, anyway, why I would sign up for this. Maybe I'll edit that out. You know, I want to be respectful where everyone is, but why I would sign up for that, whatever. Maybe so I could make this video and learn how to let those patterns go. So let's look at yours. When you say, I'm afraid of intimacy because, and let me think what came up for me. Oh yeah, what came up was because it doesn't feel safe. Like, you know, it didn't look safe how my parents portrayed intimacy. It wasn't intimacy. It wasn't even intimacy. It was like a situationship, you know. It was, I don't know, like, so it didn't feel safe. It didn't look genuine. It didn't look that fun. It looked dangerous. It looked like, oh, someone's just going to use you, and you're not that important, and you're not worth getting to know the real you. Keep putting on this ego you and this false self you, and act really genuine in your false self, so that, I don't know, like, because anyway, like, this is just what I experienced. I'm not saying that my dad is like all these things. Like, who knows? Whatever. All is to say is, so I look at those things and then I'm like, do I want to be afraid of intimacy the rest of my life? Like, live if you want to live, you know? Like Bob Marley says, like, Rastaman, vibration, yeah, positive. Yeah, that's a positive vibration. That's that song. Positive vibration, yeah. Oh my gosh, and anyway, but it's awesome. It's so fun because music can help you see. Oh, there's a song that's like, I don't know if I can sing that one off in the middle of the woods by myself. Teach me how to love. Show me the way to surrender my heart. Teach me how to love. It's so sweet. Oh my gosh, I have to put that in the link. It's all about, it helps heal my old stuff, you know, because it's a man, and there's the male side of me that longs to know how to find me, the female side of me, and be united in sacred union. And he's asking, you know, and the female side of me is asking too, teach me how to love, like, show me the way to surrender my heart and know this good stuff, because we want to know deep love. And just because, this is what I say to my clients, is like, if our parents are like, no, don't go through that red door, you know, the door of intimacy, no, it's going to be dangerous. Then we keep thinking it's going to be dangerous, and it's not. It's not dangerous. It's fun. Love is fun. Love, connecting with yourself, connecting with other people, it can be really fun. But if we kept getting hurt, like early in childhood, or bullied in school or whatever, and we learned that if you open up, if you're your real self, people are going to reject you. It's like that ugly duckling, you know. I said that before in a video. It's like your swan egg rolled down from this high place of high love into these duckling, you know, this duckling nest. And they're like, you're ugly, blah, blah, blah. You're one ugly duck. Like, that's what I said in one of my videos. It's like, no, I am a freaking swan. You just don't know. And that's okay. But I don't want to think that everyone can't. They're always in the not knowing, because that's what I experienced in childhood, you know. But you get to know and see that intimacy is not scary, and you are a swan, and you are worth knowing, and it's fun to know yourself, and it's fun to let go of your ego self, and it's fun to be in the present, and it's fun to ground yourself in nature, and it's fun to do art, and it's fun to sing. I was going to do a cartwheel today. I brought this thing. I had it in my mind when I was doing yoga. I was like, I've got to go do a cartwheel in the rain with my iPhone. All right, I'm just going to wrap this up, and then I'm going to try to do it, okay? Because I brought this brace that I can put on my arm, because we need to experience the experience of just being whimsical and going upside down. Like, I didn't know where that idea came from. I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously? I'm not here like to be a jester. You know what I mean? But I can do a cartwheel with dignity. I did gymnastics for like 20 years. I was a gymnast and then a gymnastics teacher. So cartwheel, we got this. Hopefully I'll do it on the first take. So I can be authentic and genuine. But so look at your fear of intimacy and explore. Am I just, oh, that's what I was saying. Sorry. I want to finish that thought is if I got beat up or something in childhood, then I keep finding people who are like, hard and destructive and say mean things. And then I reinforce my old experience of like everyone's a bully. But it's like, we don't have to go find the bullies and then keep reproving that idea that everyone's a bully. And so it's like, we're wearing a t-shirt. That's how I say it to my clients too. We're wearing a t-shirt that says, please love me. And then it's like, but I'm used to being bullied. So on the back it says like, kick me, And we want to change our consciousness, change our awareness, change the message that's on our t-shirt, because we do create our own reality in a lot of ways, and we're doing it unconsciously. And I was thinking of the verse, it's the teaching of Christ. He's like, it's harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God than for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. And there's the eye of the needle gate in Jerusalem. I was there when I was 17. I loved it. I wanted to stay in Bethlehem forever. Maybe I'm sensitive to, and maybe I had past lives. Who knows? But anyway, it was magical and beautiful. And my phone's getting rained on, so I want to wrap this up. But there was a gate called the Needle Gate. Yes, something like this. And so when you're a rich man and you have a camel and you have all these packs on your camel, you couldn't go through the eye of the needle, that gate. And sometimes you wanted to go through that gate. That was where the trades were or whatever. And so you had to take all your packs off, get your camel through, put all the packs back on your camel, okay? And so it's like, this is how we are with our ego self. We pack on all this unnecessary stuff and all these old limited beliefs and all these false beliefs that we have to prove ourselves in all these ways. I am not going to do my cartwheel to prove anything. I'm going to do it because I was inspired when I was doing yoga and it sounded really fun. And why not? Like, they're my videos. I can make them however I want. Like, if you want to find a psychologist near you, go find one. I'm in the state of California and I'm not your psychologist. I'm just teaching what I know because I love teaching wisdom so that we can improve our lives and consciousness. And so back to the eye of the needle is take off these burdens. We don't have to carry them. And the disciples were like, Christ, how is a rich man going to enter into the kingdom of God then? He can't help that he has all these riches or whatever, I can't help that I was brought up this way, but I can be more aware and conscious and heal these old beliefs and align with truth. I am a researcher of truth. Find truth. I love truth and I want it in my innermost being. And happiness, like true happiness. And Jesus answered and he said, with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. And so I want you to start believing if God is love, okay? So I know I wrote my dissertation, like we have all sorts of wacky ideas about God. Just think of God as divine love, as the fullness of love. And, I'm getting cold now in the rain. And if you look at that, then it's like with love, all things are possible. Miracles can happen. We can undo these things. It's no problem. Watch all my videos. Like I'm really trying to be authentic here and help you guys see this stuff because why not? Like we can use this time. I have this time. God knows why I have this time. I mean, we know what's going on right now, but thank God I have this time because I am committed to my YouTube channel and to making these things so that we can free ourselves and we can do it in the safety of nature, because if we didn't feel safe as a child, nature grounds us and it brings us that sense of safety again so you can relax. That was another song that came the other day to me. It was like, we found love in a hopeless place. And Lindsay Sterling sings, I think it's Rihanna's song, but Rihanna didn't write it. Anyway, it's okay if she didn't. Like someone was an artist that was inspired to write this. I don't think she did. If she did, then forgive me. But I'm going to put the Lindsay Sterling one because it's so beautiful. And then it's like, we found love in a hopeless place. because it seems hopeless with these weird, like, crappy ideas from childhood that are not based on truth. You can have truth, and the truth will set you free. Have love, know love. Like, be in the rain with me. Join me on this journey. Let's go on this awakening adventure. We are getting awake. We are going to be, I won't go into that. Awake, though. Awake. Wake up your consciousness. Let's raise it. I'm going to help you in the ways that I know how. I wish you love, and I'm going to put my phone out of my case and into my, my one that I run with. And let's see if I can do this cartwheel challenge. All right, I love you guys. Challenge yourself. Do different things. Be different. I'm going to do this in the mud. That's okay. I can wipe my hand. And there's sage right there. I can wipe my hands in the bushes and it'll wipe it right clean. Like, because who says we can't go out of the boxes that we were given as children? You're safe. It's safe to love. Let's find safe ways to be loving to yourselves, and then you'll rewrite that story. I love you. I had to take my jacket off, so I'm going to get... Okay, this is take one. Arms up. Nature. Let's see what it feels like to go upside down. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall out. Let's see. You gotta be looking out at the nature. I'm sort of chicken a little. I did it! Oh no, now you're upside down. All right, bye.